They are waiting and watching and wondering, and some even hoping that one of the greatest drivers in Hydro history will return to his true form.
Chip Hanauer.
Chip Hanauer takes the championship. Chip Hanauer sees the checkered flag flying high, and yes, Chip Hanauer, winner.
Today, Chip Hanauer returns after a 3-year absence from the sport that he dominated for years. Welcome to ESPN Speed World coverage of Hydro's Unlimited Racing. It's the first stop on the 99 Ralph's Thunder Tour presented by Las Vegas at the Budweiser Mohave Unlimited Hydrofest on Lake Havasu in Arizona. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Rich Hollenberg, and as you might know, I'm a rookie covering hydroplane racing, but it's great to be joined by an expert, one of the true experts in hydroplane racing, Steve Montgomery. And Steve, new host, new event site to start the 99 season.
It is, Rich. Thank you very much. Welcome aboard. You picked a great place to start your hydroplane career here at a fantastic new venue in the desert, Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Now, in a couple of weeks, we go north. It won't be 102 degrees like it is here, but our second exciting new venue in the 99 season, Barrie, Ontario, just outside Toronto.
Great way to start the season with 2 races and 2 great event sites. What else do we have to look forward to in the 99 campaign?
Well, the big story in the offseason, the return of Chip Hanauer. 58 career victories, only 4 behind the legendary Bill Muncy. He joins a very strong team, one of the dominant teams of the 90s, Fred and Jackie Leland's Pico team. That's the big story, but there are others. A lot of great new equipment. On paper, at least, Rich, that Budweiser team has more competition in 99 than they've had for a couple of years.
Lots of great races, lots of great drivers, lots of stories to tell you this entire season on ESPN2. And we get our first look at the Miss Pico boat, Chip Hanauer, in his first race back after a 3-year layoff, Steve.
Qualified at a very respectable 139.481. That put him third on the qualifying ladder.
Mark Webber in the new look Wildfire, sponsored by York Heating and Air, now racing as the Miss Havasu.
And the best Mark could do a 130.714. That put him 6th.
Michigan's own Jimmy King in the Elam qualified 2nd best, Steve.
The 140.611, very impressive for the Elstrom family down from Seattle.
And, of course, the defending champion Dave Villwock in the Miss Budweiser in typical fashion, qualified number 1.
Blew away the field in qualifying, 152.413 on a very rough race course on Friday.
It was a rough race course for most of qualifying, but as you can see, a beautiful day here on Lake Havasu today.
The weather and the water conditions much better than they have been the rest of the weekend.
ESPN Speed World coverage of Hydro's Unlimited Racing is brought to you by Las Vegas. Anything can happen, and usually does when it comes to special events. By Ralph's, first in savings, first in Southern California. And by O'Doul's non-alcoholic brew. It's what beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer. Welcome back to Lake Havasu, Arizona, and the Budweiser Mohave Thunderfest. Heats 1A and B took place yesterday, Steve. Here are the results.
Again, Dave Villwock with a perfect start, something he's a master at, and a first-place finish in Heat 1A.
Chip Hanauer's first heat back provides a winner for him. Miss Pico wins Heat 1B. Let's go to Steve, who's in the Budweiser camp.
Last year at this time, Bernie Little and the Budweiser racing team had some major question marks on their stat sheet, particularly those surrounding driver Dave Villwock, coming off of major injuries in 1997, a very tough rehab, which Dave hoped would put him at least back in the boat. He admits to us now he probably wasn't 100%, but he was good enough to win another national championship for the guys in red. Now, 1999, the question marks are gone. The team is ready, the driver is 100%, the Budweiser team rolls on in unlimited racing.
And here's a look at the start of Heat 2 from our O'Doul's Eye in the Sky. Budweiser had the inside lane already. Not a bad place to start, Steve.
Since the clock start was put back in last season, Dave Villwock has managed to get the Budweiser inside most of the time, and he's almost unbeatable in there.
And continuing in Heat 2, an early lead, but some rough waters for Dave Villwock.
One of the keys to the success of this team, their ability to handle all kinds of water conditions, including this rough north turn.
But the veteran Villwock handled that turn and came out unscathed as Miss Budweiser cruises to the Heat 2 victory. 2 heats, 2 wins for Dave Villwock.
Second heat of 1999 went well with a little rough spot.
Yeah, well, water's rough, and we're just going to have to learn to find our way through it as the day progresses. It'll probably get rougher for this final heats run, so we're just going to keep working, you know, and you know, I feel stronger than I did last year, and, you know, right at this point, so I'm going to just try to get into the race mode and get locked in, ready for the season to come. It's going to be a long season. We're just trying to put together points and see if we can't get some W's in a win column.
Well, I know the rest of the entrants aren't going to want to hear this, but no major mishaps after Heat 2 for Miss Budweiser. Things are steady as she goes, business as usual. The crew in the pit getting their game faces on for Heat 3.
In 1998, Mitch Evans and the Appian Geronimo, always fast, never a winner. Constant frustration throughout the season. We kept saying, they're due, they're due. A determined effort by the crew over the winter. A lot of time spent on the dyno with the engines. They know the driver's good. They know the hull is fast. Starting the 1999 season, they're due.
Well, Steve, they may be due, but as you can see from the O'Doul's eye in the sky, a bad start in Heat 2A, and it was all the way in the back of the pack for Appian Geronimo.
A continuing problem for Jerry Rise's team. The boat and the driver got to get their nose up there at the start.
And things didn't get much better as the race progressed. The Budweiser opening up a huge lead, leaving the Appian boat in 4th place.
You see first, second, and third coming through the turn. Now here comes Mitch Evans and the Appian Geronimo back in 4th. Let's go down to Rich.
Mitch Evans and the Appian Geronimo, a 4th place finish in Heat number 2. They said they want to up the RPMs for Heat number 3, and that means changing out the gearboxes, which is not uncommon in racing these hydros. They brought 4 of these gearboxes to Lake Havasu. They just change them out after every heat. A new one's going in for Heat 3, so look for Mitch Evans and the Appian Geronimo to contend again. The Appian Geronimo and every other hydro chasing Miss Budweiser at this point. Big Red getting ready to go back in the water. We'll have Heat 3A coming up next on ESPN Speed World. Welcome back to the sun and fun of the Ralph's Thunder Tour presented by Las Vegas. Hydroplane racing on Lake Havasu. And they're coming down for the start of Heat 3A, Steve, and here's how they're lined up.
Dave Villwalk and the Budweiser have the lead and the inside. Jimmy King makes a good start in the Elam Plus in lane 2. Mitch Evans and the Appian Geronimo we've talked about back in lane 3. And a big story out in lane 4, the Freddy's Club, a brand new boat on the water for the first time and racing here in 1999.
It looks like Miss Budweiser, Steve, is lengthening its lead around one of the turns, and this is nothing new to hydro racing fans.
Especially when he's on the inside. It's a long ways around anybody, and when it's Dave Villwalk and the Miss Budweiser, well, you might as well settle back into 2nd place, and that's probably what Jimmy King's going to do here.
There's a good look at Mitch Evans and the Appian Geronimo after replacing the gearbox. It looks like it's helped them. They're up in their RPMs a bit.
Now watch the black and yellow boat come into your picture. This is a brand new boat. Hoped to race earlier the weekend, but they just got the systems all installed in the Freddy's Club. This is Steve David's first time on the water in Jim Harvey's boat here in '99.
Miss Budweiser continues to lead in Heat 3A. We spoke earlier with owner Bernie Little on his high hopes for the upcoming season.
It's been a goal in my life to win all the races, and I thought, sure, last year we were going to get it done. I just was so sure. But after we took 8 firsts and 2 seconds, I really went away. But every year I look forward to that. I mean, I need to have a goal. Everybody has a goal. You got to have a goal. I have a 5-year goal, a 10-year goal. And I know what those are, and I really work toward making those things happen. And I'm going to work toward winning all of them this year. I probably won't, and I'll be very disappointed, but I'm going to try. And if I do, I'm going to say, man, I beat the best.
Well, if he's going to have to beat the best, it looks like he's doing a good job of that right now as we take a look at Steve David.
The Freddy's Club, as we said earlier, a brand new boat, and Steve has to be kind of feeling his way around there, but he's driven so many race boats with so many configurations, he settles in pretty quickly.
Appian Geronimo still in 3rd place. Mitch Evans trying to make up some ground on Jimmy King in 2nd, and Dave Villwalk still leading the pack.
Jimmy King and the Elam team out of Seattle, a kind of a surprise, a bit of a sleeper perhaps, but they've been very quick all weekend. We would expect the Appian Geronimo to run up there with them, and so far, Jimmy's holding them off as we look once again at Steve David just getting some seat time here in a brand new ride.
The ride is the U2 boat. It's called Freddy's Club, and Jim Harvey is just happy to have that boat out on the water, Steve.
They have worked day and night all winter to get this boat finished. Just got the systems installed in time for this heat. Miss Budweiser crosses the finish line right there to score another heat victory.
A relatively easy victory for Miss Budweiser, Dave Villwock and Bernie Little. Bernie Little looking for his 19th World Championship with the Budweiser boat. Steve David making his final turn. He'll finish 4th, Steve.
And a good run for this young man, Jimmy King in the Elam. A good, strong second place. Mitch Evans will not be happy running back in 3rd in the Appian.
They're working on owner Fred Leland's Miss Pico boat in the pits, getting ready for the next heat. We'll have more on that later. Here's the 3A results. Miss Budweiser wins. Freddie's club comes in 4th, and Steve Montgomery's down with another Steve in the pits.
Steve David, is that about the best a 4th place finish can feel?
Oh man, yeah, everything worked okay. We had no idea what was going to happen. It's a brand new boat. It's got a lot more power there. It's just going to get better and better. You know, we'll run a couple more heats today, and come Barry, we're ready to kick that red thing's butt and send them back to Tampa crying.
Come on, let's go.
Steve David, always the optimist, looking forward to getting the new ride out on the water once again. But the Pico boat is getting ready for 3B. We'll have more on Chip Hanauer's return next. Welcome back to Speed World on ESPN. Ralph's Thunder Tour presented by Las Vegas. And there's Dave Villwock, a former teammate of Chip Hanauer, who's making his return to hydro racing.
Since leaving the Budweiser team in the mid-90s, Chip Hanauer had stated repeatedly he would not be back in boat racing until the right opportunity presented itself. Many of us feared that opportunity might never come along, but the Progressive Tool Company of Detroit, nicknamed Pico, and their very strong racing team made the call during the off-season. Now we've got a new combination. The winningest living driver in unlimited hydroplane racing, one of the strongest teams of the last decade. How will they come together? Well, we're about to find out.
And Steve, as we told you earlier, Chip won his first heat back in the water, and it truly was an emotional scene on the dock.
It feels like another hurdle. You know, it's getting back in the boat for the very first time, testing, then going out and having a true test session and really pushing the boat harder, then coming here and qualifying and working with the team, and then getting the first heat done. So more than anything, it just feels like another hurdle over.
From the O'Doul's Eye in the Sky, we take you back once again. This was the start of Heat 2A. Chip Hanauer in the outside lane. A ruling we'll explain to you in a few moments, but a great start for the Pico team.
It was a great start. Just good to see Chip on the water, but it was Miss Budweiser, again, off to an early lead. Jimmy King followed close behind, and Chip Hanauer both in hot pursuit.
The Pico running very well for Chip Hanauer, but he is on the outside. And Jimmy King, a pretty good story here, as the youngster out of Michigan manages to stay ahead of Hanauer. A good day for Jimmy and the Elam. The Pico in 3rd place out in lane 3.
It's rare that someone's referred to as a rookie and a legend in the same sentence, but that's exactly what Miss Pico driver Chip Hanauer is facing here at Lake Havasu. He's been out of racing hydros for a few years and was a legend in the sport. Now that he's back after the layoff, he's classified as a rookie in Heat 2. That resulted in an outside lane start for Heat 2 and a 3rd place finish. What's changing for Heat 3? Well, for one, the gearboxes. Miss Pico is replacing the gearbox in this boat with the backup boat's gearbox. Also, for Heat 3, Chip Hanauer gets to start wherever he wants. No more outside lanes for Chip in Heat 3.
Young Mark Webber out of St. Clair Shores, Michigan, made a very dramatic entry into unlimited racing. In 1997, he had won the previous year's Unlimited Light Championship. The Budweiser team asked him to fill in for injured driver Dave Villwock. Well, he finished the season with a national championship, a very, very successful entry into the sport. In '98, Villwock was back, so Webber drove the piston-powered boat out of Indiana until he got his second big break. Kim and Debbie Gregory out of Las Vegas bought the equipment owned by the late Steve Woomer of Kent, Washington, the former Camel-powered Smokin' Joe's Winston Eagle. They asked Mark Webber to drive, and in Hawaii, they won the final event of '98. Now, new sponsors, new paint job, a proven driver, great equipment. This is a team to watch in '99.
And from the O'Doul's Eye in the Sky, we take a look back at Heat 2A, and it was a damp start for Kim Gregory's Miss Havasu in 4th place through the first turn.
Mark Webber and the Miss Havasu late getting onto the race course for this heat. They did not make a good start. We saw them get into a rooster tail, and things went downhill from there. As the field comes through our camera view for the final time, the Miss Havasu, sponsored by the York folks, running back in 5th place now. But Mark Webber's problem started in the pits. Let's go there. Here's Rich.
A fifth-place finish for Miss Havasu in heat number 2. They had some electrical problems at the start of the race, which were a major reason for them finishing in 5th. But right now, just some routine maintenance going on the big yellow boat as they get ready for heat 3.
The newest team in Unlimited Racing, put together over the winter by veteran driver Jerry Hopp, who got together with Fred Leland, acquired one of those very quick Leland hulls, but Jerry will not be doing the driving. He'll move into the owner's bus and put son Greg, a veteran of the limited ranks, in the cockpit. He's our newest to qualify as an unlimited driver and a very welcome addition to the unlimited ranks.
And it was a great showing on Lake Havasu for the rookie Greg Hopp. He had the early lead with Mike Hansen and Mike Weber in tow.
Everyone's surprised at how well this boat ran for Greg. Oh, Mike Hansen getting a little loose right there. Shouldn't be too surprised, though, Rich, because Greg Hopp's boat, the white leader here, is a Leland hull. These boats are very, very quick, but still, nobody expected this kind of performance from a rookie just having a great weekend.
And by the final lap from the O'Doul's Eye in the Sky, a huge lead for Greg Hopp and his first ever heat win.
Oh, man, that was too much. Come in here with a new team, all volunteer crew. We didn't have a sponsor when we got here. Commercial Sealant stepped up to the plate. Come in here and take a heat win. It's unbelievable. Second heat of racing, first race of the year. Unbelievable. I can't wait to do this again.
An impressive win for rookie driver Greg Hopp in Heat 2 here at Lake Havasu. I asked his dad, team owner Jerry Hopp, what, if any, changes are going to be made going into Heat 3, and he said none at all. He loved the way his boat ran on the water here, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Chip Hanauer's boat, the Miss Pico, is also running very well, thank you. It's in the water, and we'll show you Heat 3B up next on ESPN Speed World. Welcome back to Lake Havasu, Arizona, and the Budweiser Mohave Hydrofest. Rich Hollenberg and Steve Montgomery bringing you the action from Lake Havasu City. Heat 3B about to begin, and Steve, this is how they lined up.
Mark Webber puts the yellow Miss Havasu over in lane 1, and the Pico with Chip Hanauer right next to him. Then out to young Greg Hopp in the Commercial Sealants running in lane 3. And way on the outside as the inside boats get close together, that's Mike Hansen, the other white boat, Jones Racing. And you saw the boats in lane 1 and 2 almost collide here before the start. Now the Pico's slowing down. He may have taken on some water.
And you see from the O'Doul's Eye in the Sky that indeed Chip Hanauer looks to be out of this race. Although you see the flames coming out of the back, he's trying to restart and get back in it. But right now, it's Greg Hopp.
The Commercial Sealants boat having a tremendous weekend for Greg Hopp and his dad, Jerry. You saw Mark Webber giving chase in the yellow Havasu. Now back at the start, Rich, those two boats not agreeing on what the arc should be at the exit pin there. This is before the start, but Hanauer got too close to the yellow boat, got washed down, and that's been the story of this heat so far.
The story right now, though, Steve, is the deck-to-deck racing between Mark Webber, Miss Havasu, and Greg Hopp with Commercial Sealant. Webber had the lead, but Hopp regained it on the straightaway.
The Pico up and running again. Chip Hanauer will pick up some valuable points here, but he's way back, a half a lap behind the leaders.
And the dream ride continues for rookie Greg Hopp. Close behind, though, Miss Havasu and Mark Webber.
Beautiful new paint job on Kim Gregory's boat, and a good boat ride, too. But this Leland hull is just performing beautifully for Greg Hopp. And just as I say that, he gets pretty loose out there in the rough end of the race course.
A little bit of a wide turn for Hopp, but he maintains the lead around the turn and into another straightaway with Mark Webber right behind him.
Webber in the Havasu now has one more. Oh, he gets 3 tons of hydroplane clear out of the water as he turns it left and tries to hold it in lane 1. The last chance now on the back straightaway for Webber to catch Hopp. He still has a half a rooster tail lead, and Mark Webber has the inside this last turn. It's going to be very, very close.
Mark Webber doing everything in his power to get Miss Havasu on the inside track, making those tight turns. Very aggressive driving by Mark Webber.
Chip Hanauer in the Miss Pico back in 4th place. He's trying to pick up the points now. He may pick up 3rd, and he does as he goes around Mike Hansen. Mark Webber and the Miss Havasu driving hard in 2nd place, but Greg Hopp is out ahead of him in the Commercial Sealants.
There's another look at Chip Hanauer. Great comeback for Hanauer. The beginning of the race, it looked like it was all but over for him. He restarted the boat, and now he's back, and he is in third place and trying to chase down Mark Webber for second.
Would have been quite a race if he'd been able to make a good start and be up there with the leaders, as these boats are fairly equally matched. But Chip is going to pick up third place points, which will mean a lot on the day and on the season. They expect to contend for the national championship.
There's another good look at Kim Gregory's Miss Havasu boat, driven by Mark Webber. His brother Mike also racing at Lake Havasu, but it is Greg Hopp with the lead and holding on to that lead.
Commercial Sealants, their sponsor out of Seattle, and they've had a tremendous day. A rookie team in the sport, just having a super weekend. Second checkered flag of the day for Greg Hopp as we check in with Rich in the Bud Pit.
3 heats, 3 starts, 3 wins for Bernie Little, Dave Villwalk, and Miss Budweiser. This is going to be a tough boat to beat. It's been started and finishing strong all day, obviously evidenced by the 3 wins. Now, they said the only problem they're having are the choppy waters on Lake Havasu. Caused some structural damage, just minor damage under the sponson, but they patched it up overnight and said it's not causing them any trouble today, and you can see why. They're winning everything they start, and they're going to be tough to beat in the finals.
Good job.
Thanks a lot, man. So now what do? Go for the national championship, huh?
Oh, well. Oh, what a day. I think somebody must have put some decent odds on us in Vegas there.
You had to be surprised to drive away from Mark Webber like that.
Yeah, no, this commercial sealants boat has just got a ton of horsepower, and the boat is just running beautiful. And man, what a piece. Wow, it's fast.
I'm with Mitch Evans, driver for the Appian Geronimo. And Mitch, you told me earlier after Heat 2 that all you were doing was changing gearboxes. You finished third in Heat 3. Any major changes going into the finals?
No, I think the change we made really seemed to pick the boat up, so we might look at a propeller change and try to turn the motor up. It's the final heat, so it's time to kind of hang her out there a little bit. It's going to be up to me to make a good start, you know, and really put the boat in there.
One of the big stories of the day turning out to be owner Jerry Hopp's ride, the commercial sealant boat driven by his son, Greg Hopp. 2 heats, 2 wins for commercial sealant. Lots more to come from Lake Havasu City on ESPN Speed World's coverage of hydro racing.
Welcome back to sunny Lake Havasu, Arizona. Kim Gregory's team working on their boat as Rich chats with Chip Hanauer.
Right in front of the Miss Pico boat with driver Chip Hanauer. And Chip, it's your first day back in a new event, but it's been a few years since you've been in one of the hydros. Hasn't gone as well as I'm sure you would have liked, but what's it been like your first time back?
Well, it's been 3 years away, and I'm rusty for sure, but I think I've gained a lot through the week, and we know that, you know, myself and the team, we've got a lot of work to do, and so hopefully we can come out of here with a decent result and go home and keep working.
You're confident in your boat, though, and you are qualified for the final. What do you expect in that final?
You know, I go into the final not expecting anything. I'm going to try and get what we can get, what's available. I think we're not in a position yet to really be too aggressive. I think we're just going to have to see what's kind of there for us and take what we can get.
I don't know what the rest of the drivers think, but I think everyone else is glad to see you back.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Today's Alamo Almanac is brought to you by Alamo Rent-A-Car. Ready, set, go. Come on and drive happy today.
The first of Chip Hanauer's 58 victories as an unlimited driver came in Bob Stiles' Squire Shop in 1979. Then Fran Muncie put him in the Blue Blaster following the death of her husband, Bill. That boat became the Miller American, and Hanauer became a regular visitor to the winner's circle, driving the Circus in 1989 with crew chief Dave Villwalk, a national championship. Then a string of Gold Cup and national championship victories for owner Bernie Little and the Budweiser team. A pre-race accident in 1994 injured Hanauer and began a series of disappointments and injuries. But in 1995, Hanauer rallied to win his 10th Gold Cup, also owner Bernie Little's 10th, but a year later, disaster struck as Miss Budweiser got loose in the first turn in Detroit, landed on top of the camel-powered Smokin' Joe's. Those injuries put Hanauer on the beach for 3 years. Today, he returns.
I'm here with Mark Webber, driver of Miss Havasu, and he's getting ready for the finals. Mark, you finished behind a rookie both times. What's going through your mind going into this final race?
Lane position. We've got the best boat ride. We know that already. You know, lane position is going to be really important. I don't think anybody's going to really touch the bud unless Dave gets hung up at the start. But get through turn 1 clean is going to make a big difference this afternoon.
You looking for some home cooking with the Miss Havasu riding on Lake Havasu?
Lane choice is going to make the difference. This boat race ain't going to be won lane 5. I guarantee it.
In the early 60s, promoter Robert McCulloch heard that London Bridge was falling down. He said, I'll take it, put it out in the middle of the desert at Havasu, Arizona. Many critics doubted the wisdom of that move. Originally, there was no water under the bridge, just sand. Today, the area around London Bridge has become a beautiful oasis in the desert, one of the most popular playgrounds in the West.
Friday night, the sun went down, and Steve, the party was just beginning.
And we all had a good time on the shores of Lake Havasu. Some good music as the sun was setting. The unlimited and unlimited light drivers showed up. There you see yours truly along with Chip Hanauer and his brand new hairdo, still very popular. The drivers settled down and signed a couple thousand autographs for the new fans here in Havasu, and a good time was had by all. The fans enjoying the sunshine as Rich talks to a young man having a great weekend, Greg Hopp.
Greg, 2 heats, 2 wins. Must feel good going into the finals.
Oh, that gave us a whole head of steam rolling into the final, and yeah, that's just amazing. You know, it's unfathomable to me to be able to come in here and take 2 heat wins.
Now, your dad had said that all he's doing is kicking the tires and checking the oil. He doesn't want to change anything going into the finals. You agree with that?
Yeah, I don't know if I even want to add fuel.
Well, we wish you the best of luck.
All right, thanks a lot.
Rich, the unlimited lights are automotive powered, 500 plus cubic inch big blocks, 20 to 22 feet long. Actually, a higher power to weight ratio than the unlimiteds, and they've shown us a great weekend of racing. Our defending national champion is Bo Scheid in the Alamo. He won one of the preliminaries, but so did an old nemesis, the former Wildfire, which was owned by Kim Gregory of Las Vegas before he went unlimited racing, now owned by Milton and Charlie Wiggins of Gadsden, Alabama. Those 2 yellow boats, the teams to watch now in the Unlimited Lights final.
Steve told you about the Unlimited Lights. We'll see the Unlimited Lights race coming up next on ESPN Speed World. Welcome back to the 1999 Ralph's Thunder Tour presented by Las Vegas. Unlimited drivers headed to their boats for the finals, but first the Unlimited Lights final. Steve, looks like we're going to have a good race on hand for this one.
The unlimited lights, as we mentioned a moment ago, automotive powered, 500 plus cubic inches. These would be the stars of the show of any boat race they went to if the unlimiteds weren't there. They're big brothers. They are impressive race boats, particularly when you consider they're capable of speeds over 150 miles per hour. Now, a problem already. One yellow boat in the picture, that is Charlie Wiggins in the Earl's Performance boat, the former Wildfire. The Alamo is not there as we start the final heat, and that's a big disappointment. Our defending national champion, Bo Scheid, not able to make the final here in the first event of '99. So Charlie Wiggins and the former Wildfire, now the Earl's Performance boat out of Gadsden, Alabama, has things pretty much his way. A great job by Dave Bender there. Coming up beside him on the blue boat on the outside, Rich, is quite a story. Randy Haas and the Miss Compare upside down on Friday, the boat damaged, but they're able to get back here and they're running very well in the final heat.
Seems like Randy Haas doing a good job on the straightaways. Coming around the turns, though, Wiggins seems to be holding them off.
Indeed, one of the newest of the unlimited lights, the yellow boat designed and built last year by Ron Jones for Kim Gregory. Our O'Doul's Eye in the Sky giving you a good look at the Earl's Performance team, now based in Alabama. This is a boat that Charlie Wiggins chased most of last season. He was victorious once in his old boat, but a big improvement here in this boat ride now, and he'll be a contender throughout the season. Normally, we'll expect Bo Scheid in the Alamo to be there to challenge, but that's not the case here in the final heat of the first event of '99 on Lake Havasu.
By nature of these boats being the little brother, as you referred to them, of the unlimited racing, the rooster tail seems smaller. Does that make for closer racing between these boats?
A little bit, sure. You can get closer as Team Wiggins looks on. You don't have perhaps as many tons of water in the air. Everything's scaled down a little bit. But out here on the north end of this race course where it's rough for the big boats, Rich, you can imagine what it's like for these guys. These boats weigh about a third as much as their big brothers, the Unlimiteds.
Well, they call them hydroplanes, and you can see Charlie Wiggins' boat hydroplaning as he heads down another straightaway. He doesn't have to worry about rooster tail, Steve. He has been in the lead from the get-go.
And this is a great experience for Charlie. We know he's one of the top drivers, and now he has the kind of equipment he will need in 99 to run up front. Another new Jones boat coming through the turn there in second place. That's Phil Bonancini in his pocket mechanic out of Issaquah, Washington. Then back to Dave Bender running a very good third place in his boat.
Randy Haas has fallen off the pack. We saw him in third place earlier. He's dropped back. But Charlie Wiggins is the boat to beat, the yellow boat. It's easy to see that Wiggins is having the ride of the day so far.
And we can look forward to a great season of racing between Charlie in this boat, which ran very close to the Alamo last year. In fact, was victorious in several of those matchups. And when Charlie Wiggins and Bo Scheid get it hooked up in the two yellow boats, we're going to see some great racing out of the Unlimited Lights here in 1999.
Now let's go back a year. Charlie Wiggins won the first race last year in '98 in Evansville. Steve, is this almost a bad omen for him?
Well, that was his old boat, of course. This boat wasn't even on the circuit at the time. The Alamo had problems that day, and that was their only victory in '98. We'll look for them to visit the winner's circle perhaps a few more times here in '99. Great looking boat ride for Charlie and his dad Milton. Here is a look at Randy Haas. Glad to get back in for the final heat, but obviously ran into some other problems.
It looks like it's going to be Charlie Wiggins, Phil Bonancini in second in the pocket mechanic, Dave Bender in third, but it is going to be Charlie Wiggins as it has been from the start of this race. The Earls Performance Products team out of Gadsden, Alabama will be your winner in the Unlimited Lights final.
Great start of the season for Charlie Wiggins and his new boat, but it won't be this easy, Rich, when he has Bo Scheid and the Alamo to contend with.
Congratulations to Charlie Wiggins and the Earls Performance finishing in first, Pocket Mechanic in second, B&B Racing in third. 6 boats started this race, but only 3 finished, and Steve is on the docks with our winner.
Charlie Wiggins, a great start to the '99 season. You buy Kim Gregory's boat. You used to race against it. Is it better being in it?
Oh, it's a lot better being in it than following it. Yeah, it's a pleasure. We had a good boat, a good team, did it all, put it all together, and all that hard work paid off.
Jimmy King and the Miss Elam getting ready for the Unlimited Hydros final. And owner Bernie Little looking on at his Miss Budweiser as they prepare as well. One of the big stories of the day, Chip Hanauer making his return to Hydros Racing in the cockpit of his missile, the Miss Pico, looking for a win in his first race back. But another big story has been rookie Greg Hopp as he steps aboard his commercial sealant boat looking for win number 3 on the day.
Leave that there. Leave that there. All the exciting action now from the Unlimited.
We've talked about 5 of the 9 drivers here in the pit area. Of the other 4, Jimmy King, driving the Elam Plus, has had by far the best weekend. 3 very strong second-place finishes, 2 of them right behind Dave Vilwalk and the Miss Budweiser. He'll be in the front row in the final heat. Mike Hansen makes the move from Indiana back to Seattle, joins Mike and Laurie Jones' U9 team. He's done a lot of work over the winter. The boat not quite ready, but he is the trailer in the final heat. The other 2 didn't fare as well. Mike Weber driving the piston boat out of Indiana, ripped the bottom off in a preliminary. They're on the way home to make repairs. And Steve David, the driver for Jim Harvey in the U2 Freddy's Club, spent most of the weekend pacing while the team put finishing touches on a brand new boat. Finally got onto the water, did some damage. They're headed back to Seattle for repairs as well.
The boats that are getting ready for the finals are pushing off as we speak, and Steve, Miss Budweiser, despite some impressive competition, has still got to be considered the boat to beat.
Arguably the world's fastest race boat. We haven't seen anything this weekend to dispute that. If he makes a good start, Vilwalk's going to be tough.
We'll be back with the finals coming up next. Welcome back to Hydroplane Racing on Lake Havasu in Arizona. The Pico getting ready to go out on the water. Before the season started, we caught up with Bernie Little at his estate in Florida and spoke with him a bit about Chip Hanauer and the face of hydroplane racing.
Chip, he's excellent. He's an awesome driver. He's, I always say he's got his head screwed on right. He does a tremendous job on the race course, and he's very concentrated. When he gets in that boat, I didn't ever want to say anything to him. I didn't want to break his concentration because he's set, his eyes are set, he's going to win. And so it's what makes a great combination between him and Dave, because Dave is basically the same way. And, you know, Chip will be as a real asset to the sport. And I think that I must say also that we have a new commissioner, Bob Garbrecht, that is going to be a great asset, I feel, to the sport. Dr. Ken Muscatel has devoted so much of his time this year to making this a whole new deal, a whole new sport, and we're really looking forward to getting out there and mixing it up with everybody.
Looking at the boats coming onto the water for the final heat now, the winner-take-all final. You see the big digital display at start-finish. Just under 4 minutes now. The drivers watching the stopwatches in their cockpits, getting some help from the crews on the radio. Their job is to mill around, get a good lane, make a flying start just as that clock ticks down to 0.
There's the Miss Budweiser boat. Everyone's got their sights set on Dave Villwock, and one of those people will be driver Chip Hanauer, making his return to the sport after Al and Larry Wisney of the Progressive Tool Company, a sponsor of Miss Pico, convinced him to come back.
Larry spent a lot of time working on that with Fred. We've been working with Chip, talking to him about it since he retired, and you know, I'd always said no, and then Larry went out and just through some really hard negotiations and probably a little begging, managed to get Chip to come back. And I mean, you can't be excited enough about having Chip driving your boat when you feel that you're the best technologically on the circuit, and then having the best driver, the best living driver in history driving for you. We really feel we're unbeatable this year.
Speaking of driving, Rich, Al Wisney, during a test session up in the Tri-Cities, Washington over the winter, said, hey, August Bush IV got to drive Miss Budweiser. Why couldn't I do a couple of laps in the Pico? Took it out on the river, got it up over 175 miles an hour, and looked pretty good. A big thrill for him. He'll be just as thrilled, though, if Chip Hanauer can win here in his return to unlimited hydroplane racing.
And if that return is going to be triumphant, Steve, it's going to come against some stiff competition. Drivers like Mitch Evans in the Appian Geronimo. There you see a good look at the Geronimo, who hasn't had too good of a start so far at Lake Havasu, but is always dangerous, driven by Mitch Evans. There's a good look at Kim Gregory's ride, Miss Havasu. Mark Webber, co-rookie of the year in 1996, won one of the races last year. And Jimmy King from Miss Elam also having a good day on Lake Havasu. The best of the best showing up for this first event of the year.
Those boats all capable of winning here, Rich. The start is so important. And this young man, Greg Hopp, what a weekend in the commercial sealant. 2 victories in 3 heats of racing. But if anybody is going to beat Miss Budweiser, the boat we're looking at right here from our O'Doul's Eye in the Sky, they're going to have to make a tremendous start. They'll probably have to be inside of the Budweiser. If Villwock has lane 1, he can even be back a bit at the start, and it's going to be awfully hard to beat him.
The milling is continuing as time continues to wind down. And again, jockeying for position is so important because everyone out there on the water knows that Miss Budweiser is the boat to beat. You know the drivers have confidence in their boats. You know the owners and the crew chiefs and the managers all think their boat could win. But Miss Budweiser, Steve, has a proven track record of being able to win the big races, and it showed no signs of slowing up at Lake Havasu, winning 3 of the 3 heats that it's been in.
This boat right here, the Appian Geronimo, nipped at the heels of this one. Miss Budweiser throughout 98 was never able to catch him. Mitch Evans would like nothing better than to do it right here. And this boat, as you said, won our final event of last season when both Mitch Evans in the Appian Geronimo and Dave Villwock in the Budweiser jumped the gun in Honolulu.
Things are really starting to get interesting here in Lake Havasu. Steve, can you feel the tension building?
A final heat, anything can happen. Even these guys, as good as they are, know their driver has to make a good start to hold off this fast field. Mike Hansen earned a spot in the final heat but has mechanical problems, so he'll be a spectator, as is the Elam family down from Seattle, watching their driver, Jimmy King.
Bernie Little and company looking forward to the finals. We'll bring it to you coming up next. ESPN Speed World coverage of Hydro's Unlimited Racing has been brought to you by Las Vegas. Anything can happen, and usually does when it comes to special events. By Ralph's, first in savings, first in Southern California. And by O'Doul's non-alcoholic brew. It's what beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer. Rich Hollenberg, Steve Montgomery from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. And Steve, we are ready for the start of the Unlimited Hydros final.
And we see one big story already. We're approaching the start line now. It's about 1,000 feet away. You see the Pico out ahead. The Budweiser is not in lane 1. He's out in lane 3. That is Greg Hopp on the inside in the commercial sealants now. Here comes the Budweiser. If he times it right, he's going to have a big advantage here, but he has to slow down, and the Pico's going to go by him.
Wow, timing really of the essence at that start line. It looked like Miss Budweiser had things timed out perfectly, but not to be. And Greg Hopp and Miss Pico got the real good start at the start line.
The Budweiser was either early or had a little bit of a mechanical advantage. We'll have to check back and see if he's running well. But right now the story is out front. These two Leland hulls, the Pico and Greg Hopp in the commercial sealants, are leading the field. The Budweiser is back in the spray somewhere. We got to find Dave Vilwalk. He's running at least fourth. There he is, way on the outside. He's back in fourth place right now. And Rich, we could have quite a story brewing here.
Quite a story indeed. This final that we're watching right now could set Unlimited Hydroplane Racing on its ear. Chip Hanauer, 3 years out of the sport, has come back in a big way, Steve. Right now, the leader in the Unlimited Hydroplane final.
Going by the start-finish line right there at the end of lap 1, it's Greg Hopp in pursuit in second place. Bernie Little looking on a little concerned, obviously. Now, Vilwalk has moved up past Mark Webber in Miss Havasu into third place. He appears to be gaining on the leaders. This is the first of 5 laps, so we have a long ways to go. Can Hanauer hold off Vilwalk, who did not get a good start? This is going to be exciting to watch.
It's certainly going to come down to the final lap of this race, but right now Chip Hanauer has the lead. And another story we've been following throughout this show is Greg Hopp, the rookie driver, in second place. But Steve, look at Miss Budweiser coming on strong and taking over second place.
Definitely gaining on both the first and second place boats. Now the Budweiser up into second, and Dave Vilwalk is driving foot to the floor. Now let's go back to the start, Rich. From our O'Doul's eye in the sky, you see Vilwalk was out ahead of the field as he approached the start-finish line. Apparently, he was early. Right here, he had to back off, and you see how badly that cost him, as both Mark Webber and Chip Hanauer went by him and gained an advantage that may last throughout this heat. There it is from another view, a tremendous start by Hanauer. He hit it right on the zeros. So far, that's been the story of this final heat.
Steve, you got to be good to be lucky, and you got to be lucky to be good. And I think Chip was a little bit of both at that start line. Like you said, couldn't have timed it any more perfectly, and that's paid off so far with a nice 2 or 3 rooster tail lead for Chip Hanauer.
At speed, these hydroplanes are covering a football field per second, Rich. So to time it perfectly and have your nose right at the start line as the clock ticks down to 0 is a good trick, even if you've been racing, which Hanauer has not been. So a tremendous job by Chip to put his nose right on the line. You think this Pico crew is a little excited? Long ways to go in this race, but look at the lead that their driver has over the defending world and national champion right now.
Well, how much more drama could we have in this final, Steve? Chip Hanauer leading the pack right now. Miss Budweiser, a bad start as we documented, but has come all the way back and is in second place. Vilwalk and Hanauer going at it head to head. You couldn't ask for a better final.
You saw Chip there swing just a little bit wide. The leader can kind of dictate the radius of the turn. Vilwalk has to react to him, and right now we have to say the Budweiser has not gained much on the Pico. You see Vilwalk taking a look inside. He said, okay, Chip, you went wide. I'll take a look inside, but we went over there. Hanauer shut the door. Hanauer definitely has this thing in his control. If his boat speed stays up, it looks like Vilwalk's going to have trouble catching him.
We are coming up on the final lap of the Unlimited Hydros final, and it has been Chip Hanauer from the start, building its lead and not relinquishing a bit. He's been driving fantastically throughout this day, and especially in the final. Originally, it was Mark Webber and Greg Hopp giving chase. Now it's Miss Budweiser, but Steve, it doesn't look like even Dave Vilwalk is going to catch Chip Hanauer.
Hanauer through turns 1 and 2 for the final time. Now he's on the back straightaway. A little bit of a surprise here at the performance of this boat. The Pico did not handle or run this well in 1998. Is it all the driver? Well, who knows? But the crew obviously has given Chip a strong long race boat. And not only does it make for an exciting day, but it gives us a tremendous season of racing to look forward to here in 99 as Hanauer turns toward the checkered flag for the final time.
The O'Doul's eye in the sky captures it, and the drama has come to an end. Chip Hanauer puts the exclamation point on a fantastic day of racing, and yeah, the Miss Pico team can celebrate. Chip Hanauer, a triumphant return to the sport of unlimited hydroplane racing.
59 victories now, 3 to go to catch the legendary Bill Muncy as the sport's all-time winningest driver. There is the Leland and Wisney family celebration going on in the pit area, and this young man has to be as surprised as any of us. No one could have expected his return to be this dramatic.
Certainly as much relief as there is excitement of the Chip Hanauer and Miss Pico camp. Miss Pico wins the first event of the season, followed by Dave Villwock's Miss Budweiser. And what a day for Greg Hopp and the commercial sealant, finishing in third. Miss Elam, Appian Geronimo, and Miss Havasu in 4th, 5th, and 6th, respectively. The high point standings, Miss Budweiser, the most consistent, finishing in first, but the day belongs to Chip Hanauer. Steve's with our winner.
Chip, you got about 300 people here that want to say congratulations, and they should. What a great moment in unlimited racing. Hey, pal, welcome back.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
The thing ran for you, didn't it?
It ran because of him. We struggled all week, and Ken just stays very focused, and he gave me the best boat we've had all week when I needed it.
Looking forward to 99 now, huh?
Oh, no, I'm not looking past about midnight tonight. I haven't driven one of these things for 3 years, and I'm going to have so much fun tonight.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Steve.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible.
Again.
Thanks for a great race.
Thank you, Chip. I cannot believe it. Somebody wake me up.
Wake up! Wake up!
Fred Leland couldn't have asked for a better finish to a great way to start the 99 season.
No, it turned out really great. It was really good that the competition was so great, and the people in Havasu put on such a great race, and the whole day went very well.
Who are you happiest for? You got to be happy for everyone. Anyone in particular?
All my sponsors, all my crew, everybody that's associated with my boat.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
David, a great boat race for the fans. You're hooking up with an old rival. This is going to be fun, isn't it?
It is going to be fun. Yeah, I just got us up there a little bit early, and you know, the crew did a great job in the boat. I mean, it really accelerated. We accelerated better than we had all weekend. So I got up there about a second early, and I had to get off the gas when everybody else was getting on the gas. So it got us in a big tunnel going into the first turn, and had to drive our way out of that and you know, get around in position. But you know, we just didn't have quite enough RPM to get around the outside. So that's the way it goes.
Going to be a great season for the fans. The driver, the starter are going to be so critical. A lot of great equipment out here.
There is. So, you know, we'll just see. But the good news for us is we came out here on top on the national points deal, which is everything to us. We like that you won.
Well, Steve, what a great chapter 1 to what promises to be an outstanding season of racing. Chip Hanauer, your winner, but there are so many other great stories as well.
That man right there, Larry Wisnick. You met his brother earlier, the two most responsible for bringing Chip Hanauer back into the sport of unlimited racing. Realistically, Rich, all 6 boats in the final heat had an opportunity to win with a good start. It's going to be a close and exciting season of racing.
And, of course, as Dave Villwock said to you, Miss Budweiser still #1 driving that U1 boat in the high point standings. Well, what a great way to start the 99 season. For Steve Montgomery, I'm Rich Hollenberg. Thanks a lot for tuning in. More great hydroplane racing coming up later this season. For now, this has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.